Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is forcing themselves to stay awake. Maybe it's you, pulling an all-nighter, chugging energy drinks, telling yourself, "I'll sleep tomorrow." But what if tomorrow never comes? What if you pushed your body to the absolute brink and refused to close your eyes for 7 straight days? What would happen to your brain, your organs, your grip on reality itself? This isn't just a thought experiment. Real people have tried this, and what happened to them is more terrifying than any horror movie you've ever watched, because the monster isn't hiding under your bed. It's your own brain, slowly turning against you. Here's the thing. Most people don't understand about sleep. It's not a luxury. It's not rest. It's the only time your brain can flush out toxic proteins, consolidate memories, and repair cellular damage. When you skip it, you're not just tired, you're poisoning yourself from the inside out. We're going to walk through this hour by hour, day by day, and by the end, you'll never look at your bedtime the same way again. If that sounds like a journey you want to take, hit subscribe now, because this one gets dark. So, let's start the clock. Hour 0. You've just decided you're not sleeping tonight. Your body has no idea what's coming. You feel fine. That's the dangerous part. For the first 12 hours, your body is running on its reserves, burning through stored adenosine and cortisol like a car coasting on fumes. You might even feel sharper, more alert. There's a slight euphoria that comes with sleep deprivation, almost like a mild stimulant high. Your brain is compensating, flooding your system with adrenaline and dopamine. But underneath that false confidence, the damage has already started. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and rational thought, begins to slow down. You start making small mistakes. You misread a text. You forget why you walked into a room. You laugh a little too hard at something that isn't funny. By hour 18, your reaction time is equivalent to someone with a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. You are literally functioning as if you've been drinking. Your body temperature begins to fluctuate. Your immune system starts dialing down its defenses. White blood cell production dips. If a virus hits you right now, you're significantly more vulnerable than you were yesterday. By hour 24, you've crossed a line. Your brain is screaming for rest, but you ignore it, and that's when your body decides to fight back. Have you ever been so tired that the world starts to feel slightly unreal, like you're watching your own life through a foggy window? Welcome to day 2, and it's about to get much worse. Your brain, desperate for the sleep you're denying it, starts doing something remarkable and terrifying. It begins to shut down sections of itself while you're still awake. These are called microsleeps. Your eyes are open. You might even be mid-conversation, but entire regions of your cortex go offline for 2 to 30 seconds at a time. You won't even know it's happening. This is when car accidents happen. This is when surgeons make fatal errors. Your brain is literally falling asleep in pieces while you walk around thinking you're fine. Your cognitive function has now dropped by roughly 40%. Complex problem solving becomes almost impossible. Your emotional regulation collapses. You snap at people for no reason, or you start crying at a commercial. Your pain sensitivity increases dramatically. That dull headache you've been ignoring? It now feels like a vice grip around your skull. Your body is pumping out cortisol, the stress hormone, at dangerously elevated levels. Your blood pressure is climbing. Your heart is working harder than it should, and you're only on day 2. Day 3 is where things start to break. What if I told you that after just 3 days without sleep, your brain can no longer tell the difference between what's real and what isn't? Because that's exactly what happens. By hour 48, your cognitive abilities have deteriorated to a level comparable to someone who is legally intoxicated. But it's your perception of reality that takes the most disturbing hit. You begin experiencing what researchers call perceptual distortions. Shadows in your peripheral vision start to move. You hear sounds that aren't there. A whisper, a knock, your name being called from another room. These aren't metaphors. These are documented symptoms reported in every major sleep deprivation study ever conducted. Your brain, starved of its restorative cycles, starts misfiring. The visual and auditory cortex begin generating signals without any external input. In simple terms, your brain starts hallucinating to fill in the gaps. Your speech slurs. Your short-term memory is nearly gone. You can read a sentence and forget it by the time you reach the period. Emotionally, you're a wreck. Paranoia begins to creep in. You start misinterpreting other people's expressions, seeing hostility where there is none. Your body is now running on emergency power, and by hour 72, something truly frightening begins. Imagine looking at your reflection in a mirror and seeing a stranger staring back. Imagine being absolutely convinced that someone is standing behind you, but when you turn around, nothing. This isn't a horror movie. This is what happens to a real human brain at 72 hours without sleep. By day 3, you have entered what sleep scientists call sleep deprivation psychosis. Full-blown, vivid hallucinations are now a reality. People in documented experiments have reported seeing insects crawling on their skin, hearing full conversations from empty rooms, and becoming convinced that their loved ones have been replaced by imposters. Your executive function, the brain's CEO, is essentially offline. You cannot plan, organize, or think sequentially. If someone gives you simple instructions with 3 steps, you will forget the second step before they finish the third. Your emotional state oscillates violently between flat, zombie-like numbness and explosive, irrational rage. Physiologically, your body is in crisis mode. Your metabolism is haywire. Insulin resistance spikes, pushing your blood sugar into dangerous territory. Your heart rhythm may become irregular. Your immune system is now severely compromised. A common cold could knock you flat for weeks. And somehow, incredibly, it gets worse. Because day 4 introduces something no one sees coming. What would you do if your own hands stopped obeying you? If you reached for a glass of water and your fingers simply refused to grip? By hour 96, this becomes a genuine possibility. Your motor control is now severely impaired. Fine motor tasks, buttoning a shirt, typing a message, even holding a fork, become exercises in frustration. Your hands tremble. Your coordination is gone. Walking in a straight line feels like navigating a ship in a storm. Researchers who monitored subjects at this stage described their movements as resembling someone heavily sedated. But the neurological damage runs far deeper than clumsy fingers. Your brain's ability to consolidate and retrieve memories has essentially collapsed. You exist in a kind of permanent present tense, unable to form new long-term memories and struggling to access old ones. People have forgotten their own addresses, their phone numbers, the names of their children. The hallucinations intensify to a level that is nearly indistinguishable from a psychotic episode. Complex, narrative-driven delusions take hold. You might become convinced you're being watched, that there's a conspiracy against you, that reality itself is a simulation designed to trap you. Your organs are under enormous strain, but it's day 6 where the body sends its final warning. Have you ever wondered what it feels like when your body genuinely starts to give up? Not metaphorically, not dramatically, but quietly, systemically, organ by organ? Welcome to day 5 and 6. Your core body temperature, which has been fluctuating for days, now drops measurably. You feel cold, bone-deep cold, even in a warm room. This is your hypothalamus losing its ability to regulate your internal thermostat. Your digestive system has slowed to a crawl. Nausea is constant. Many subjects in sleep deprivation studies simply stop eating because the act of chewing and swallowing feels overwhelmingly exhausting. Your brain is now experiencing what neurologists describe as neural misfiring cascades. Random neurons fire without purpose or pattern, creating a storm of confused signals. You might suddenly smell something burning when nothing is on fire. You might feel a phantom touch on your shoulder. Your sense of time disintegrates entirely. 5 minutes and 5 hours feel identical. Emotionally, you're beyond paranoia now. Many subjects enter a state of profound, existential dread, a feeling that something terrible is about to happen, with no ability to identify what. Your body is begging, screaming, demanding sleep. But what happens if you still refuse? Day 7 is the answer, and it's the most disturbing chapter of all. This is it, 168 hours, a full week without sleep. And if you've made it this far, though every cell in your body has fought against it, you are now standing at the very edge of what the human body can endure. By day 7, your brain is operating at a fraction of its capacity. Higher order thinking is gone. Abstract reasoning, creativity, humor, empathy, all of these complex functions require a rested brain, and yours has been running on empty for days. What remains is raw, primitive survival instinct, and even that is flickering. The hallucinations are no longer brief episodes. They are your reality. Subjects at this stage have been documented engaging in full conversations with people who do not exist, becoming convinced they are in locations they are not, and losing the ability to distinguish between dreams and waking life, because the boundary between the two has effectively dissolved. Your cardiovascular system is under extreme duress. Your resting heart rate is significantly elevated. Blood pressure is dangerously high. The risk of cardiac events, arrhythmia, heart attack, stroke, climbs with every passing hour. The longest documented case of voluntary sleeplessness is 11 days. But the question everyone really wants answered is far darker. Here's the question that has haunted sleep researchers for decades. Can staying awake actually end your life? The answer is more complicated and more chilling than a simple yes or no. In humans, ethical guidelines have prevented scientists from pushing subjects to lethal limits. But in animal studies, the results are devastating. In the 1980s, researcher Alan Rechtschaffen conducted experiments on rats, keeping them forcibly awake. Every single rat died within 11 to 32 days. Their bodies simply broke down, immune collapse, hypothermia, organ failure. In humans, there's a rare genetic condition called Fatal Familial Insomnia. It destroys the brain's ability to sleep. Patients progressively lose the ability to rest, passing through every stage we've described: hallucinations, motor failure, cognitive collapse, before dying, typically within 12 to 18 months. There is no cure. There is no treatment. It is a death sentence delivered by insomnia. So while no healthy human has died purely from voluntary sleep deprivation in a controlled setting, the biological evidence is overwhelming. Your body cannot survive without sleep indefinitely. It is as essential as water, as oxygen, as food. But here's what makes this truly terrifying. Millions of people are already partially sleep deprived right now, and they have no idea what it's doing to them. What if the most dangerous thing you do every day isn't skipping the gym or eating junk food, but cutting your sleep by just 2 hours? Because the science says exactly that. Chronic sleep deprivation, getting 6 hours or fewer per night, has been linked to a 48% increase in heart disease risk, a 36% increase in colorectal cancer, a dramatic rise in Alzheimer's disease markers, and a lifespan reduction comparable to smoking. You don't need to stay awake for 7 days to damage yourself. You just need to consistently cheat your body of the rest it requires. Every night you sleep fewer than 7 hours, your brain accumulates beta amyloid plaques, the same toxic proteins found in Alzheimer's patients. Your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA, shorten faster, accelerating biological aging. Your emotional resilience crumbles, making you more prone to anxiety, depression, and chronic stress. The experiment we walked through today, 7 days without sleep, is an extreme scenario. But the truth is, millions of people are living on day 2 or day 3 of this timeline every single week without realizing it. So tonight, do the one thing your body has been begging for. Turn off the screen. Close your eyes. Sleep isn't a waste of time. It might be the most important thing you ever do. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.